In the short time between Oldtail's fight with the Queen and Ave's discovery of Cinderella, a lot had occurred. The Ark had been sealed, and by this point, any relevant information on Oldtails was destroyed. You could make the argument that people were still alive in the Ark who knew of Oldtails, but even then, I'm sure they remained silent on the project entirely. Due to the Ark being sealed and their history being erased, Ave was not able to contact anyone, nor did anyone contact her. As far as the Ark was concerned, Oldtails was nothing more than a failed fairy tale. They produced the first heretic and achieved nothing in bringing humanity closer to victory. Even though Ave was on her own, she still did all she could to protect Cinderella. She devised a coffin to carry her in, rigging it with both bodily and neurological stabilizers. The main thing Ave worried about was Cinderella's mental state, and the damage that she may have sustained. This also showcases the pivot in Ave's character. From a researcher used to fighting from behind the scenes, Ave's become someone who had to fight to defend the ones that she loved. She was a mass-produced nikke, inferior in every way to a fairy tale model like Cinderella. But even so, she fought with everything she had in order to evade capture from the Raptures. Sadly, just like before, humanity would interfere with Ave's progression. After over a decade of wandering with Cinderella, Ave crossed paths with the nikke. This would quickly become an encounter that Ave will regret, and one that would pivot the entirety of her story alongside her greatest creation. Oldtails was completely wiped from history, and subsequently, when Ave is brought into the research lab, the researchers only see her as an extremely outdated model. A mind switch for any nikke is a terrifying thing to undergo. Losing your memories and your personality, becoming an entirely clean slate. For Ave, I think it was a fate much worse than a mind switch. In Graves' Bond story, it is revealed that she hadn't undergone a mind switch, but instead, sustained heavy damage from the researchers prying her open and poking around for any information that they could find. This damage didn't have an immediate impact on her memory, but instead, just like decay, was a steady decline over time. In addition, her face was also heavily disfigured, tainted. Something that Ave knew wouldn't be a beautiful sight to Cinderella. This began the use of her mask, and this scene alone is what makes the scene in chapter 32 so impactful.
Beautiful. You were always so beautiful. You still are. You protected me.
Cinderella?
Sadly, following this encounter, Ave would slowly lose her memories. As stated in her Bond story, she had no recollection of her time being a great researcher for BTC, nor did she remember anyone besides Cinderella in the years that followed.
I had a dream. Don't remember the details. You and I were there. And 3 unfamiliar faces. 2 of them looked identical. They were all laughing together, to the point of tears. It was a good dream. I want to dream again.
In the years that followed Ave's capture and experimentation, she continued to search for a safe place for Cinderella.